What if there were Pokemon based on Los Angeles, California? Well, I've taken to creating some for my Pokemon region, Alaya. Hey everyone, Brandon here. We've already discussed what the starter Pokemon would look like. Go check that out if you missed it. So now let's talk about some Pokemon you would find around Alaya. So first up we have the early root mammal. And in Alaya, that title belongs to Avogato, the seed cat Pokemon, a normal grass type. This might go on record as the goofiest little guy I've ever made on this channel. I worked with Fungusmon for this design and the next few, so make sure to check out their link in the description. The idea of this Pokemon was born out of me wanting to create an avocado Pokemon for this region, as Los Angeles and California at large are known for their avocado consumption, with Haas avocados originating from Rudolf Haas, a mail carrier and horticulturist from La Habra, California, which is part of the greater LA area. These avocados were first made in 1926 and now are one of the most commercially popular worldwide. Avogado's name comes from avocado and gato, the Spanish word for cat. But avocado is actually the original English rendering of the Spanish word aguacate, which in and of itself comes from the Nahuatl word ahuacatl, which means testicle. That was quite the non sequitur. Either way, there is precedent for the name. Its name being Spanish in origin refers to how most avocados are grown in the Mesoamerica area. Its category of the seed cat Pokemon also refers to cat seed, which grows cat grass, a kind of grass that is safe for cats to consume, such as wheatgrass, oatgrass, and barley grass. Okay, aside from the name, why would I fuse an avocado and a cat? Well, that will become very apparent when Avogato evolves at level 20 into Toast Tabby, the Toast Cat Pokemon. This Pokemon is based on the dish that began sweeping the nation in 2010 and is apparently the reason we can't afford rent, avocado toast. It is disputed where avocado toast originates, but it's said that people in the San Francisco Bay Area have been eating it since the late 1800s. Toastabby's pose is emulating one that cats take, which is known as loafing, in which a cat tucks its arms and legs underneath itself, making it look like a loaf of bread. The crust of the toast is actually Toastabby's tail wrapping around itself. It also has these flecks of white amongst its fur, which refer to the salts and other spices put atop avocado toast, but can also refer to cat dander, as many people, myself included unfortunately, are allergic to. According to the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, this affects between 15 to 30% of the American population, and less than 10% have an allergy to avocados. Toastabby's dander could act as the basis for it knowing different powder moves, such as sleep powder, poison powder, etc. With Toastabby being based on toast, a heated form of bread, its ability would of course be well-baked body, like Doxbun, with Toastabby being the cat to its dog. Now I guess we just need a baked bread mouse and we can have ourselves a full Tom and Jerry reunion. And I would like you to reunite with those like and subscribe buttons. Also, make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know which Pokemon in this video was your favorite. Next, we have ourselves the early root bird with Fastilt, the long-leg Pokemon, a pure flying type. This little guy is based on the black-necked stilt, a long-legged bird that can be found in the wetlands and beaches across much of the southern half of North America and much of South America. They use these long legs to wade in the water, hunting the wildlife found within it. They can also run pretty fast with said legs, even in the water. Fastilt use their legs in a similar fashion, able to walk through water to prey on small water or bug types found within it. Hilariously enough, Fastilt shares its category with Ariados, which, as a bird, Fastilt would probably prey on Ariados' pre-evolution Spinarak. I am sure many were expecting a California quail Pokemon to be the early root bird, but in all honesty, when thinking of a concept for one, I felt I couldn't come up with something that was different enough from Lockstin's Quailston line. It truly is such a solid concept for the animal, and I felt I wouldn't be adding anything by attempting to make one myself. So make sure to check out Lockstin's Kaskade region if you haven't. Back to Fastilt though, which at level 24 evolves into Seaggrit, the disguised leg Pokemon, a flying grass type. Wait, is it a grass type? No, that's just dark green plumage. It's actually a dark type. Seaggrit disguise themselves as an unsuspecting palm tree, letting prey climb upon its lengthy tree trunk-like legs before scooping them up in its large beak. This avant-garde avian is based on a few different types of cranes, herons, or egrets. The great heron, which is the largest and most widespread wading bird across the US, the American bittern, which has this striking plumage to help it blend in with its surroundings, and the great egret, who are able to spread out these special lacy feathers called egrets during mating displays, which to me looked like palm fronds. This, all tied together with its stylish appearance, it refers to trompe l'oeil, meaning deceive the eye in French, a fashion design technique that creates the illusion of three-dimensionality on flat surfaces, using silhouettes, prints, and other elements that play with the viewer's perception, just like Seaggrit plays with its prey's perception of it. We have had a palm tree Pokemon and a Pokemon that disguises itself as a tree, but never a fashionable bird Pokemon disguised disguising itself as a palm tree. You would be able to find yourself a Fastilt and Seaggrit along the beaches of Alaya, hunting with their individual methods, one direct and the other indirect. And I want you to directly hunt that join button to become a member. Membership gets you amazing perks, all the while helping me to continue to create videos just like this one. So hit that join button now and help support the channel. From there, we have the early root bug, and this one is pretty special to me, and I hope it will be for you all too. I'm going to present them all at once to better explain the concept. So allow me to introduce Awkwurm, the unsure Pokemon, Eggarb, the egg Pokemon, and Prydromorph, the pride Pokemon. Awkwurm starts off as a little worm who doesn't quite know what to do with itself, unsure of its place in the Pokemon world. It will wrap itself in fine hair-like silk, evolving it into Eggarb, slowly growing until eventually it evolves into Prydromorph, more sure of itself and full of pride than ever. Naturally, with this line's coloration and concept, it refers to the trans pride flag and trans folk in general, with butterflies being a form of trans iconography. This line would have no gender, so it isn't binary, leaving it open to your interpretation of what journey it travels along. Awkwurm clearly represents a person pre-transition. Eggarb represents that transition, with the term egg being queer slang meaning someone who has yet to realize their true gender or lack thereof. And Prydromorph is a person who is finally living their truth openly and outwardly. In Prydromorph's antenna, you can spy the lowercase lambda symbol, which is an icon of queer activism, being adopted by the Queer Activists Alliance. Prydromorph's name not only comes from pride, but also gynandromorphism, which is when a butterfly exhibits both male and female phenotypes, which is why this Pokemon has two very different wings, showing that intersexuality exists in many different species and is completely normal, which is also the reason this entire line is the bug normal type. Queerness is an absolutely normal thing, and don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. To my queer viewers out there, you are seen and you are loved. I found it important to make this Fakemon, especially in light of recent events, myself being a part of the queer community, and this video coming out on Pride Month. Also, Los Angeles is home to an enormous queer community, with West Hollywood being known for their queer culture. Speaking of, we are raising money this month for the Trevor Project, a non-profit crisis prevention line serving the queer community that does incredibly needed work. Now more than ever, as the national LGBTQ+ crisis hotline was recently shut down. You can donate directly by using the fundraiser attached to this video, or if you want a sticker while also helping support this cause, you can go to my merch store, which has two new stickers, the Prydromorph sticker and the Sulfion sticker, repping trans and non-binary pride. Or you could go for a sticker from the Queer Legendary series. All proceeds this month from these stickers are also being donated to the Trevor Project, and I've reduced prices across the store to make it a bit more affordable to support this cause. So please go ahead and either directly donate through this video or pick up a sticker from my store, which the link for it is in the card and the description. So I was thinking of making some fossil Pokemon for this region, and I had the thought, oh, it sure would be interesting if I used the La Brea tar pits to make fossils that were part poison rather than part rock. So I started conceptualizing and landed on a saber-toothed tiger line and a ground sloth line. And it was right about that time that something familiar struck my memory, like I had seen these exact concepts done before. I then realized that my buddy Tubbs-AZ, who I've worked with on the channel before, has done this exact concept for his Mojave region. So I asked and he allowed me to show them off as a sort of, here's what I would have done situation. So make sure to check out his link in the description, as well as the other artists I've worked with in this video. So here we have Kitox, the tar-toothed Pokemon, a pure poison type, and Gunkub, the tar sloth Pokemon, a poison ground type. The tar within Kitox's bones gives it a venomous bite. It will strike once, then wait for its prey to succumb to the poison. Gunkub's tar-covered body makes it hard to catch and even harder to battle, slipping away from most fights. At level 37, they evolve into Tartaror, the tar fang Pokemon, a poison dark type, and Goliath, the Giga Tar Sloth Pokemon. Tartaror's claws and fangs are so infused with toxic tar that a single cut can make its prey fall incredibly ill immediately. If its venom somehow fails, it will pin down its prey with its fangs, tearing into them with its strong claws. Goliath has extremely sticky tar covering its entire body. Bits of debris, foliage, and smaller Pokemon can often be found stuck in its coat. Due to this tar, it has poor eyesight, using its long, gooey tongue to navigate its surroundings instead. This tar is also a part of Goliath's new signature ability, Tar Trap, where an opponent Pokemon can no longer escape from battle after using a contact move. Take a drink of water each time I said tar when explaining those Pokemon. You look a bit dehydrated. And hydration is key to what this next Fakemon is based on, sports. So here is Passwitch, the ball change Pokemon, a pure water type. But wait, there's more. This is just Passwitch's Laker form. It also has its Dodger and Charger forms as well. I worked with Trainer Rex on this line as well as the next line, so once again check out their link in the description. This Pokemon is of course a reference to the major sports teams of Los Angeles: the Lakers, the Dodgers, and the Chargers, with each form for Pass Switch embodying the type of ball of each sport: a baseball, basketball, and American football. You can even see the symbol for the Chargers in Pass Switch's little hair puff. With them all being balls that are passed or thrown, they are most definitely associated with motion. With that said, each of these forms are also based on Newton's laws of motion. Laker form is based on Newton's first law of inertia. While basketball is known for a lot of movement across the court, to shoot the basketball it's important to plant in one place before shooting. Also, lakes don't typically have much movement within them, being a still body of water surrounded by land, and water is fairly chemically inert when compared to other chemicals. Water basketball is also a sport that exists, which this references. Dodger form is based on Newton's second law of acceleration, with baseballs being known for how fast they are being thrown by the pitcher, and wind becoming more dangerous the faster it blows. Its flying type serves as a reference to fly balls, a term within baseball for a ball that was batted high into the air. Charger form is based on Newton's third law of action and reaction, that states when two bodies interact, they apply forces to one another that are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Well, doesn't that sound like the line of scrimmage in football, where the linebackers push into each other with near equal force, trying to push them the opposite direction? Also, electricity is constantly active, and blocks or stops need to be put in place to keep it from flowing. The arms and legs of this Pokemon are inspired by sports team mascots, and classic rubber hose cartoons like Steamboat Willie, with Disney Animation Studios being founded in Burbank, California, and Disneyland being within Anaheim. Pass Switch changes into its different forms when thrown out of its Pokeball using different throwing techniques, carrying that mechanic over from the Blueberry Academy DLC in Scarlet and Violet. The techniques would match up to how each type of ball is thrown in the sport they are associated with, which is how it gets its name. It switches depending on how it is passed. Pass Switch love to play games together. They will all switch their forms by throwing each other so they can play the same game on equal footing. Their Dodger form is known for its incredible speed, the Laker form for its ability to go with the flow, and its Charger form for its unending want to charge forward. I definitely think Pass Switch would get a new move, so let's give it Play Action. A move that is like a combo between Baton Pass and Astonish, where Pass Switch will rush the opponent with what they think is a tackle, possibly making them flinch, before immediately returning back to its trainer, giving any stat buffs Pass Switch had to the next Pokemon that is sent into battle. This move refers to the football play called a Play Action Pass, where the offense tricks the defense into thinking they're going for a running play, but instead they're actually doing a pass play. This would essentially give you a free switch in with free stat buffs that come along with it. I considered instead of flinching that this move would hit like Volt Switch or Flip Turn, with the type corresponding to Pass Switch's current type, but that felt a bit too OP, where I think the chance to flinch makes it a bit more reasonable. Last but not least, we have the main fish Pokemon of the region, and that would be none other than Geeky, the brainfish Pokemon, a pure water type. This Pokemon earns its category as the brainfish Pokemon as it is extremely elusive, not due to its speed, but due to its clever maneuvering. Fishermen gather at the beaches that run across Alaya to see if they can win the battle of wits it takes to catch one of these Pokemon. It has a consistent nonplussed look on its face, as it is very easily bored with those that don't challenge its intellect. Geeky stays in the ocean for a majority of its life, but if it moves into Alaya's rivers, this triggers its evolution into Bulkeye, the brawnfish Pokemon, a water fighting type. This monstrous Pokemon has abandoned all the intellect of its prior stage, acting aggressively toward any that dare trifle with it. There is another group of fishermen that gather in Alaya to try and catch this Pokemon, with it being an impressive feat of strength. There is much debate on which member of this line is harder to catch. Okay, so this line is based on a fish known as the sockeye salmon, which while it is young, it stays in the ocean and maintains this silver and blue coloration and smaller frame. But when it comes time for mating season, they travel into freshwater rivers, where they begin an incredible transformation, gaining a new green and red coloration, hooked jaws, and a hump in its back. This massive transformation reminded me of a couple very famous characters known for their transformations, with the major one being Bruce Banner, who becomes the Incredible Hulk, who were inspired by the tale of Jekyll and Hyde, both of which are incredibly smart individuals who transform into brutish, monstrous creatures. You can see the scales of Geeky are meant to form a lab coat, with its eyebrow pattern reflecting glasses, which then become these ripped, clothing-esque scales on Bulkeye, just like how Hulk has those iconic ripped shorts. Naturally, this means Bulkeye would get Anger Point as an ability, given Hulk's whole deal is the angrier he gets, the more powerful he is. And I think Geeky could have Technician, as Bruce Banner has made multiple bits of tech across the comics and MCU, or it could have Analytic, referring to Bruce's analytical mind. These two are also inspired by water babies, a creature from the myths of many Western Native American groups, which take the appearance of infants, whose cries are considered an omen of impending disaster. Just like the small-bodied Geeky coming closer to the beaches of Alaya is considered an omen of the impending disaster that is the monstrous Bulk-Eye. So which of these Pokemon was your favorite? Let me know down below. Thank you so much to our fantastic members who go that extra mile to support this channel, which you can also do by hitting that join button. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.